Hey everybody, listen, before we get the podcast started, I just wanted to let you all know we are super grateful for all your support. The podcast is honestly one of the most fun things that we get to do to support the sport, and we do need your support. If you have some time, why don't you go ahead and leave us a review on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you're listening to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, everywhere else too. And just go ahead and share it with your friends too. We would appreciate that. The more you guys leave reviews, hit likes, or share, the more visibility the podcast gets, and it helps us really keep this thing moving. The sponsors are really loving the podcast as well, and we want to give them a shout out. So why don't you check out Choke Aloha? Head over to chokealoha.com. Use the promo code Jiu-Jitsu Radio, and you will get 20% off your entire purchase of some of the coolest grappling gear and apparel that you can get your hands on. And it's also a limited time for a lot of the gear. If you're on the podcast, you'll get to check out my Immortal Choke Aloha collab shirt that I'm rocking right now. And you can also pick up some cool rash guards or hats or t-shirts or patches, whatever else they got going on, and you can get it all at the discount. Again, the promo code is Jiu-Jitsu Radio, all one word, for the 20% off discount at chokealoha.com. Don't forget, you can also pick up some awesome soap at jujitsusoapco.com, and when you use the promo code JJRadio, you'll get 10% off your entire purchase. Listen, these bars are all limited time, so if you see something that looks interesting, don't wait. Just go ahead and pick it up. Use the promo code, you'll get a discount. I pretty much, I'd say every single last bar of soap that I have purchased or have been given from Jiu-Jitsu Soap is freaking awesome. I've loved every one, and it's always kind of sad to see. I'm like, oh man, I'm about to run out, so I always have to re-up before it's too late. So head over to jujitsusoapco.com, use the promo code JJRadio. You will see what I mean. They don't only have just bars of soap. You can pick up some accessories, some shirts, some hats. They got a ton of cool stuff, and they're constantly updating the store, so don't wait. Check it out. Also, hit up our homies over at giraffechoke.com. Use the promo code JJRadio, and you'll get 25% off your orders of $99 or more. You can pick up the hats like you always see us rocking. My rear naked choke hat. I always have people asking me about that hat. They love it. My Superman punch hat. Everyone digs that. And you can also get a cool flying knee hat or shirt. If you haven't seen it, well, I don't know what to tell you, because you've seen fighters from Bellator, UFC, and some pro jiu-jitsu guys rocking the gear too. So head over to giraffechoke.com, use the promo code JJRadio, and get hooked up. And listen, we got a storm coming, so that means there's going to be some good surf this weekend. A little sketchy, but it's still going to be good. For the next couple of days, it's definitely worth it. So while you're down here surfing, because I know you're coming to surf, head over to Nomad Surf Shop. Tell them we sent you. You'll get 10% off. Because listen, if you're at a storm, you might as well save some money too. If you can't come down here, you can always go to nomadsurf1968.com, and you won't get the discount, but you'll still get access to some of the coolest surfing, swim gear, anything that you want that's beach related. They most likely got it, and you can get it at nomadsurf1968.com. It's definitely one of the coolest shops that we have down here in South Florida. So go and check it out. Without further ado, we're going to get this party started.
You kidding me, boss?
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
Isn't that a great shirt?
You know what's going to happen though? Most people see it like instantly and just try and come at you with some bullshit. Like, and then they realize, oh,
It's
fucking Beavis. What's up, buddy? Cheers.
Cheers.
Let me get my...
My super big gulp
this stuff gives me is a laxative effect on me.
I bet. Bro, that's like because you throw a ton of like Sweet and Low and shit on it, don't you?
No. There's nothing in here. It's just the acai.
I thought it was like cranberry some shit.
No, it's vitamin water. It's the vitamin water that you get from the fountain.
Right.
But it's like acai pomegranate and whatever sweetener they put in it to make it sweetener.
Probably like Sweet and Low or something.
Turns my ass into a salad shooter.
That's fucking horrible. Thanks for sharing that. That's
it coats the toilet. Like it looks like somebody stuck a shotgun down my throat and pulled the trigger and shot all the poop out. Like in a spraying.
I don't know if that's how it would work. Wouldn't you just say your butt turned into a shotgun and just go?
No, I'm just saying that's the scatter that it does.
That's quite the mental image. Appreciate that. I got my fair share of stories. I don't know. I told you the one about like my graduation, right?
I don't remember.
We'll save the shit stories for the end of the podcast. I'm not gonna start it off with my poop stories. Let me fix this real quick.
Don't be scared, homie.
Don't be scared. Hey, did you watch any of the Masters?
I watched a little bit.
None of our guys came back with a win, but they all fought their ass off.
I didn't know the guy that George lost to was Josh Hinger.
Yeah. No, they were going. He got him like right there.
Yeah,
so.
Hinger is good, dude.
No, Hinger is legit, man. He's a like 2-time world champion, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know he was that big though.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's jacked. It's Atos.
Yeah.
You know, let's just say what it is. Hey, you ready for the storm? No. So for those of you that don't know, because you might not be in Florida, we have a tropical storm. It's still a tropical storm, right?
Yeah, it's tracking north, by the way.
Is it going north or is it going into us?
No, it keeps tracking north.
Like it's going to miss us?
Now it's like tracking towards Vero, Fort Pierce area.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure that they've got this meteorology thing like geo-targeted to the point where it's like, okay, well, in this area, let's tell them it's gonna go more towards their area. So we just fuck with them first, and then it'll just change.
I'm thoroughly convinced they don't know shit.
No, they don't. Have you listen? I run into the Weather Channel like once every couple of days. Have you watched it lately at all in the last 6 months? It's become.
Do they have like a weather reality TV show now?
Yeah, basically. It's basically what it is. So every day they try to throw some kind of like scare tactic.
That's what it is.
Yeah, no, it's 100% no, but like they've taken it to a whole different level. You can tell there's really nothing fucking going on. They have no fucking clue that they just turn into these graphics that are just made to make you shit your pants to get those like doomsday preppers kind of thing. Like now they have the technology where they have a guy standing like just in the studio. It's like, oh, well, once the winds hit 65 miles an hour, that's when telephone poles can come down. And then they have the animation that looks so realistic, like the studio's coming down. And then it's like, and then it starts to rain, so the flooding will begin, and you'll literally see water start rising up in the studio. It looks fairly realistic, and it's just that's what they fucking randomly do. The best was when there was all those tornadoes and shit going down like a couple of months ago. This fucking asshole goes up to this house where you can tell it was probably the only house that was affected, and he's at the front. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're here. You can see all the devastation behind me, blah, 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 blah. Mind you, I'm just randomly eating lunch and the TV's right there. So I'm going to stay longer than what most people stay and see the Weather Channel. 30 minutes later, they come back to the guy. And this fucking asshole went to the other side of the house and tried to make it look like he was in a completely different location.
Yeah.
How bad is that?
Well, I was talking to somebody last week at some point. We were talking. I know exactly who I was talking to. I was talking to the guys down at the Mile Zero fights.
Oh, right.
And we were talking conspiracy theory, and we were talking about HARP. And I get you. The weather,
their modifiers,
and there's there are conspiracy theories out there that say they can control.
It's not a theory. They know it. They do it. They do it in Dubai.
they can control at which direction these storms go.
Yeah, no, they do the cloud seeding in Dubai. It's known. It's not a theory. They do it.
Right.
They can make it rain.
And there's one in Cape Canaveral. They have a
Yeah.
cloud maker
Yeah.
in Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, no, it's not fake. They can do it. It's just it's large modification of the temperatures and stuff like that. They can do it.
And so it's like, but they're saying like they're weaponizing them, and like,
I mean, I don't know if they can weaponize them, but I definitely think that they can get it to the point where it's uncontrollable, and they're just like, okay, let's see what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
But they can't make hurricanes yet. I'm sure they're
well, I
gonna
don't
get
know
to
if
the
they
point.
can make them, but I hear they can stop them.
I don't know if they could stop them. I think to stop them, you would need to do such a drastic shift in a large area. For temperature-wise, it would be like you'd have to set off
You
a
can nuke
huge
it, like
bomb.
what,
Yeah.
like Trump was saying.
Yeah.
nuke a fucking hurricane.
I think that's actually like doable, but you would fuck things up so hard.
You would radioactive. You
would launch radioactive
And-
isotopes all over the place
Yeah,
because
because
that
it
wind
would take-
literally comes from Africa. Damn, I'm burping and you're coughing.
I have a my
Little jizz in the throat.
my sinuses, my allergies have been going nuts the past week.
For a lot of people.
Holy cow! I sneezed 8.
Are you seriously counting your sneezes?
Yeah, I sneezed 8 times in a row yesterday morning.
I think maybe it's just like a Tourette's thing where you hit once and you have to do like 3 or 4 times.
As
you always,
soon as I stepped out the door,
Yeah.
it was literally the within 3 seconds of me stepping out the door,
yeah,
I started sneezing my
balls off.
balls off. It was crazy. I'm like, oh my god.
Could you
So
get a hernia from like sneezing too hard?
I don't know, but I've had like sports hernias where every time I sneezed, I had to hold it. Like,
What do you mean? Oh, you had to hold your nuts?
yeah, well, not your nuts, but like where you get a sports hernia is like, I don't know where
Between like the abs and stuff?
Yeah, so I would stick my fingers in.
I forget what it's called, but yeah. I remember that was always like weird. That you had to go get like a sports physical before you did anything in school.
Oh yeah, that was always every well. Did we have to do it for every year?
Every year you have to do it.
I just don't remember. I don't remember doing it every year. I remember doing it the first.
Do they
time.
still do that? No.
I have no idea.
Like they don't make you go to some random person's office to get your nuts
I'm
touched.
surprised they don't make them take ACGs and stuff like that,
ACG?
or have echo heart cardiograms and
Oh,
stuff
the
like that.
EKGs.
EKG.
I mean, that would be too much, and most people couldn't even afford to do that.
Well, no, it's a little thing. They put the electrodes on your chest.
Yeah, but someone's got to read it, and you have to go to...
I did it at Sid's office once.
I remember we used to have that back in the day. Like, somehow my dad got one, and we would just sit there and, like, stick it, and it had, like, this old school where it had the paper and
Yeah.
everything come out. We would just fuck around with it. I don't even know why the fuck he had that. That was way back in the day. I was still in Italy when that was... Yeah. We were, like, I was a kid. I remember my dad had that. That's fucking crazy. I remember that. You ever, like, remember the super most random tiny shit? From, like,
Yeah, and you ever remember the stuff that makes you want to smash your face against
the super embarrassing stuff?
Yes.
All the fucking time.
That's the worst.
All the time. Like the dumb shit of like girls that I was trying to talk to and had no idea that they were actually flirting with me, or just something super embarrassing that I did.
Yeah.
Teachers, the one that gets me is the fucking teachers that would like ridicule me in front of the class. I wish I could just go back and slap the shit out of
I
them.
never got ridiculed.
I for sure did. Oh, I had teachers that would literally like put me in front of class and rip me apart like it was a fucking
Why?
roast.
What did you do?
Nothing.
I
was
don't
just-
believe that.
No.
I don't believe the teacher
No,
would
but you
just-
know what it was? I definitely was the awkward kid. Remember, I was the immigrant. So I would be like the only one in class. Like, I mean, still just barely learning English in like 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Like, I wouldn't understand the cultural differences and stuff like that. And I mean, granted, I'm a kid, so I was a spaz, so I wasn't really paying like attention. But I mean, I remember I got ridiculed for like wearing my the private school uniform wrong. Like the teacher literally brought me up and ridiculed me. Or I made a mistake on a presentation, and she just sat there and ripped me apart. Miss Vaco, that's her name, Miss Vaco. We'd always call her Miss Vaca. Like, Bro, she would rip me apart. To this day, if I saw this woman, for sure I would spit in her face. That's the kind of like...
No, you wouldn't.
100%.
You would
I
not.
swear to you on my life. Find her, and I will. That lady tortured me for 3 years.
Why don't you say something to your parents?
I did. And there was tons of parent-teacher conferences. There was tons of parent-teacher conferences for
And
sure.
what happened with that?
Clearly nothing. I used to get in fights and stuff all the time. I would curse out the teachers. But I was smart about the teachers that I did it to. Because it was a private school, so I remember they couldn't get the right teachers, or they couldn't get the teachers that believed in the religion, so they would get like whatever they could, and they got one teacher who was, I think she was either Baptist or just something totally different. She wasn't Catholic, and they treated her like crap because she wasn't part of the religion, so I would just fuck with her because they wouldn't take her side on anything. I was a little shit for sure.
No, she's probably the coolest one there too.
No, for sure. Like I definitely made amends towards the end of the year and kind of worked it out. I was definitely a little scumbag.
You know what's funny is I'm looking at this IBJJF medal.
You need to look at an English book.
And they actually put the year and everything on the medal.
You never noticed that?
No, I thought they were just more generic.
No.
And
Pretty sure they've always had the year on there.
I don't know. I'll have to look at all my other medals.
Newbury doesn't.
Yeah, Newbury doesn't. Those are
generic.
But I've noticed some of them say Miami, like the Miami Open ones.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember them having like the year.
Yeah, for sure they do.
But that's no,
That's not cheap.
it's not cheap.
They have a ton left over.
Yeah. So what do they do with?
Remember,
those?
like I found the box.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So this was while you were still rolling, and I just got mine. I found a box. I'm like, I should just take a bunch. I wanted to steal a bunch of medals just to fucking like hand
Put
them
them all
out.
on and take a picture.
Yeah, just to fuck with them. But like, no, they were just sitting there. They didn't give a fuck. I literally started going in there. I was like, oh, just let me take this so we can get some photos and stuff up there. Like, and they didn't give a fuck. I could have just walked away with it. Damn, I'll do that next time for sure. Snag a bunch of like world's medals. Be like, 20-time world champ.
27 time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Laranja.
Yeah.
27.
27.
I'm 28.
28. So let's get into some news before we get into the bullshittery. Cyborg won the heavyweight.
Yeah, I saw that. The
GP.
Grand Prix. That I saw.
The end went down to ref's decision, but man, that's a good showing right before
ADCC.
ADCC.
Yeah. Well, he may be. It's hard, man. It's hard because he's one of the very best on the planet, except for a few people, and that's like.
No, I mean he's ranked, or I don't know if it's changed, but he was ranked number one towards the beginning of the year. He was one in the world. That was the issue. Remember, him and Gordon Ryan were going back and forth, and then Cyborg ended up getting like one. So listen, man. Cyborg is, I think. Obviously he's not the youngest cat on the block, but his level of experience and the work ethic that he has, he's going to be a tough role for anybody.
Well, yeah, except for the thing is like he lost to Gordon Ryan to a heel hook.
Yeah.
Then he got DQ'd against Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, because they're the club.
The club
The
heard
club.
around the gym.
Yeah, right.
And knowing Cyborg, that's so not like him though. You know what I'm saying? That's so weird.
I don't know if it's not like him as much. It was. I think the frustration really did get to him. I mean, he's a tough dude, but he's never dirty.
Yeah, no, he's always. He's one of the nicest guys.
Oh, he's one of the classiest dudes. One
yeah.
of the classiest dudes you'll ever meet.
And it was like, it's funny how a lot of people just started making judgment calls on that. And I'm like, look, dude, you can't make look, I get it. It was
Competition.
Competition. He should not have done that. He should have been more professional.
The same thing happened though at the kinetic grappling. I think.
Yeah, with Nikki.
Same thing happened with Wagner and AJ, where like Wagner like kicked him in the ass and stuff. Like, so it's kind of one of those things. It's like I think you get to the point where you're like, let's keep going, like, and it ramps up.
Right.
We're competitive dudes in a physical sport that's as close to striking as you're gonna get without striking. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. That's why I said. That's why what's his face? I thought was an awesome ref at Kinetic.
Frank Trigg.
Frank Trigg, because he saw it. He saw it ramping up. He's like, all right, let's cut that shit out and keep going. So shout out to Cyborg, winning $40,000.
Yeah, $40K.
$40K off of the bat ain't bad. Especially when
that was a big week. That's a big week of jiu-jitsu. It was
World's Masters.
World Masters. It was the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And it was the Orlando Open.
What are you talking about?
That weekend, this past week. The weekend was the Orlando Open as well. Or not Orlando, sorry. Las Vegas.
You right? Are you here? You
Yes.
here with me?
No,
what are you talking about? It was the heavyweight GP.
Right.
And the World's Masters in Las Vegas.
And then that World's Masters happened on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Uh-huh.
That weekend they had the Las Vegas Open.
Oh, okay, Open. I get you. I see what
So
you
it
mean.
was like a big
That
week
was a
of
lot of
jiu-jitsu.
fucking jiu-jitsu. That's got to be fucking daunting for those refs. 4 days?
4
right?
days, five, I think.
Well, no, because it started Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. After like 2, I'm like, all right, I'm fucking...
And
Well,
they're
it
on their
depends on the-
feet all day.
Yeah. Maybe they'll get a snack. For sure they're...
They always buy them lunch.
Yeah, they always get them lunch, but you only really get like 10 minutes to eat. I watch them. They only really get 10 minutes to eat. Some guys obviously
I
will
would
get a little bit
never,
more.
ever be a ref.
I would do it for like smaller tournaments, like the
I wouldn't do
Zenobia
it.
Open. Like I would do
I
it
would
for something
not
like
do
that.
it.
I just
Never want to be a ref.
Never?
Ever.
just because you don't like responsibility.
No, it's just like it's
You have to stay focused.
Yeah, now I'm not the kind of guy that stays focused.
No, for sure. But I look even Bruna was having a tough time, and then when she started getting into the zone, and she's sitting there carrying Josh around and stuff. So it's you got to give her credit. Jay-Z was right there. He's like, "Hey guys, what happened right there? Tell me that." And Jay-Z's a pretty good ref though. He's gotten a lot better. Not that he was ever bad, but he's definitely gotten a lot better at towards like those end scrambles like that at the end of the match to be able to
I can keep
break it
track
down.
of the points. It's not that. It's just like I just don't like.
the scrambles. If you don't know the rules, you could get caught up in the bullshit politics super quick. So you definitely have to have a strong character, or you could get shitty refs like the guy at Titan FC. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
I forget I want to say, was it George Flores? I think was his name. He's one of the guys, we see him all the time. I think he's done one or two XFNs too. Hands down, one of the worst fucking refs. And listen, I'm friends with a lot of the refs. This guy I never talked to. He's the same guy that fucked up another one of the Titan fights with the girls, where he made the girl put on like a guy's cup. Like,
What?
yeah, she fought Hannah Cipher, who's now Cipher is in the UFC. So it was an already scary fight. So she got in, he fucking checked her. She sat there and did everything, got into the cage. Cipher starts walking up. He's like, she's got to get a cup. It's like, what are you talking about? She's already in there. You checked her. He's like, nope, she's got to get a cup. I don't care. She's not going to fight unless she gets a cup. And they're like scrambling. Obviously, they don't have the fucking cup for a girl. So they're sitting there.
I thought girls didn't have to wear cups.
They don't have to, but he just decided that he was going to make her fucking do it. So they scrambled. They go and they find a random dude's cup, which is like a cup for our size. It was a big dude's cup. And obviously it was fucking used. Fucking sanitary issues. If you watch the fight, she's sitting there like getting pounded while she's like trying to adjust the cup. So not only is she literally putting like the cup on international camera. It's on the UFC Fight Pass. You can go look at it. I forget which one it is. I wanted to say it's like somewhere in the 40s. One of the 40 something. Just look for a Hannah Cipher's fight. The camera's watching her like sliding this down her pants, and then while she's fighting, she's adjusting it because she's got a fucking bulge. Like she's not wearing shorts for it.
What, did Hannah Cipher have one on?
I can't remember honestly, but she got fucking pounded. She got fucked up. Like I'm pretty sure it was a first round like KO, or TKO. But it's like, come on, man.
And it's hard. And like, what's funny is that's the kind of shit that'll throw you off because you're thinking about that the whole time.
Yeah. Look, and if you watch the fight, like Kamaru is yelling at the ref. Lex is yelling at the ref, and Lex doesn't normally go at the refs like that. He was fucking yelling like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? The dude's literally tapping while he's getting fucked up in front of the ref. Like, as far as you are from me. The ref's standing there, and the kid's like getting pounded in the face while he's tapping. Obviously, the other guy isn't going to stop until the ref stops him. Man, people were fucking going ape shit. And just look it up. It's on Fight Pass.
That's the one that just happened?
That just happened this past weekend. I want to say it was Friday, Saturday. I mean, come on, man. Like, this shitty reffing will fuck up an entire night. You can fuck up. Remember I showed you the video?
Not only can it...
You can fuck up somebody's life.
Yeah, for good. Like... You could end a career.
But yeah, that's my whole speech on reffing. So that's why I agree with you that like you're taking on like a lot of responsibility when you're reffing. Some people just don't give a fuck. Speaking of not give a fuck, did you see about CB Dalloway?
Yeah.
Suspended for 2 years.
2 years.
He was taking all the juice. He was taking all the fucking juice. He's got so. For those of you that don't know, CB Dalloway was suspended for 2 years because he tested positive on December 19th. He tested.
Is it retroactive?
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna give him credit for whatever, but it was right before his fight, so I think he still fought. Like
no, I know, but I'm saying like we're a few months away from December. So like, does it retroact?
That I don't know.
Because he hasn't fought since. So
I'm assuming they'll probably give him that, but.
They normally do retroactive.
He tested positive for anastrozole,
Anastrozole,
whatever. GHRP2, GHRP6, clomiphene, and he got in trouble for getting an IV on December 13th. So he just basically
he just said, I'm doing what I want to do. They should let them do IVs.
IVs they should, but it's the reason why they don't is because it can mask steroid use.
I get that. But like, at what point does somebody getting caught or doing steroids override somebody like dying?
What do
you know
mean?
what I'm saying? Like people are having a rough time cutting. Like, have you noticed how much rougher of a time people are having cutting because? And when they come back, like they can't rehydrate the way they used to.
That was actually an issue. Like we didn't really talk about it at the last UFC fight. Like a couple of guys got in trouble because it was the California fights. Because one of the guys, what they do in California now is they gauge to see how much you've recovered in the 24 hours, and if you recover more than 10%, whatever it was, then the California Commission can actually stop you from fighting in that weight division, and they'll make you move up because they notice, that means you're cutting too much. Like you gain more than 10 pounds, 15 pounds after that, whatever. So you're gonna have to.
That's bullshit.
I'm not saying 10 pounds, but I'm saying that whatever
it's
the
bullshit.
percent.
If you make the work to get down to that weight and you weigh in at that weight, and so did your opponent. Your opponent has the same right as you do to gain weight back.
I think it's just to fight off the amount of guys that are trying to go overboard. You see, like Jose Aldo's talking about going down to 135. His team made the announcement saying that he's talking about going down to 135. Or really, he made the announcement, and it was a team decision that they suggested that he goes down to 135. It's like, yo, like everybody laughed at it. My man, you can barely live at hitting 145, and you're going to go down to 135? Not going to happen.
That's why Gilbert's not going to fight. I guarantee you Gilbert doesn't fight anymore at 155.
But he moved up. He made the announcement. I think he might for like something crazy kind of fight, but I mean, he looked pretty good on the last one.
No, it's
he beat an undefeated Russian guy. So
what they need to do is they need to institute that other weight class. They need to introduce 3 more. In my opinion, there needs to be 3 more weight classes, like a 65. Like a 190.
You're talking about like every 5 pounds?
Not every 5 pounds, but
10.
like almost every 10.
I don't even know what they're called. Like I know all the boxing names.
Yeah,
and
then like a
220.
Like I think if you add those 3, it would change a lot.
I don't think you'd have a lot of people at 220.
Yeah, you would.
Who would you get?
Stipe was 230. He could go down to 220. John Jones could go to 220. Like, there's a lot of people that would do 220.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Stipe was killing himself to get to 235.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
He couldn't have gone down to 220.
He didn't try to get down to 230.
He said he wanted to. He wanted to be lighter. But his body was just cutting the weight super fast.
Yeah, he said he wasn't trying to get down that low.
Well,
he just from doing the cardio.
Speaking about that fight, you saw DC's statement
about waiting.
Well, no. First he apologized to everybody for losing and his family.
I saw that. And then where him and his wife were gonna take time. And
but
not make an emotional.
His
decision.
dad passed away.
Oh yeah. And I saw John Jones.
Oh, I didn't see that. What did John say?
John Jones actually said something classy. He was like, "Look, all beef aside,
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's not something that anybody wants.
And he said something very nice to him. He goes, basically he gets to sit front row for whatever you do for the rest of your life. It was really nice. It was really nice of John, and I like that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of heavyweight division, did you hear? A friend of ours might be or is talking about coming back.
Is it a big friend?
It's a big friend. It's a very big friend now.
Very big friend now.
He's a very big friend now. AJ, Anthony Rumble Johnson, is planning to announce a return to heavyweight in 2020. But in the commission, they said that they have a test window of 6 months before you can officially return.
I think it's a 4 month. Actually,
6.
Is it 6?
It's 6. I can read you the statement from Ali. Actually, I have it here, but bro, let's be honest. You're gonna need those 6 months to clean up. All right, let's just be let's be honest, AJ. You're gonna need the 6 months to clean up and make sure you don't pop that Brock Lesnar test.
No, I don't know that he's on stuff because he always had a propensity to get big. I'm just saying, I don't.
I'm going to go ahead and just throw it out there. AJ got fucking huge, all right?
No, I know he
granted,
did.
Now he gets to lift and he doesn't have to worry about the weight.
That's what I'm saying.
But AJ's fucking massive,
but
all right?
AJ
could easily
huge.
go and enter the Olympia right now. He could go in 2
he
weeks,
would, no.
3 weeks. I'm not saying he's cut like that.
No, but he's not that big. He's big.
No,
though.
he's big.
He's
When's the last time
big.
you saw him?
I stopped by the gym 4 months ago.
Yeah, 4 months ago.
He was big then.
Hey guys.
Yeah, and then I saw him a month and a half ago at Hijinks.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys went to Hijinks. Thanks for the invite. Retired UFC veteran. Oh, this is from ESPN. Retired UFC veteran Anthony Johnson is planning a comeback. Johnson intends to return to competition in 2020, according to his manager Ali Abdelaziz. The plan is for Johnson, a former two-time title challenger, a light heavyweight, to compete in the heavyweight division.
He was a monster at heavyweight, by the way.
He was a monster at 185. According to Abdelaziz, Johnson will file the necessary paperwork shortly to rejoin the UFC's mandatory drug program. The UFC's anti-doping partner, USADA, requires any athlete coming out of retirement to subject to a 6-month testing window prior to any return to competition. Johnson and his team have already taken the requirement into consideration. Hint. Targeting a March return in 2020.
Well, maybe there's what I'm saying is maybe there's a you cannot compete for 6 months.
No, in that 6 months you have to fill out all the paperwork. You got to get tested by USADA,
right?
And then
right.
If you
after
pass,
that 6 months, right?
If you pass in those 6 months, then you can be reinstated.
Right. So that might not be.
He's looking for fights against JDS or Overeem, which would be an amazing fight against Overeem, considering they used to train together.
They never really trained together. Overeem didn't really train with them.
Overeem didn't really train together, but there's a reason for that. So Overeem did train with the guys, but he was injuring fighters at the camp. So they're like, fuck this, Overeem is just trying to fuck everybody else up. And then he had more of his ego where he just trained on his own. He didn't want to train with everybody else.
There was a point when he was training at Jocko when it was level 5 where he covered they were on the others. Remember how
they covered the entire floor.
Well, do you remember when the cage was up front and we had those mats up front?
Yeah.
He put like mats all inside the cage to block what was going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what could you be doing?
No, there's a lot of guys that do certain things like that. There's a lot of guys that will train off hours so other people can't see.
But what? It's stupid. Everybody knows what you're going to do. They know you're going to do a knee. They know you're going to.
Yeah, and I'm totally with you, but I think I know for Jocko, a lot of the issues we had too were people were like coming by and they were like photographing and stuff like that. That's why they started like tinting certain windows and things like that too. So there was always issues, and there's issues like that all the time. I told you about the guy that was friends with DC that was coming in like before the DC fights to train, and I would roll with the guy. I told you about that.
I don't remember.
It was like super blatant. Like kind of called the guy out for it. So the first DC fight with AJ and DC, this kid came in out of nowhere. And not a kid, like late 20s, certain dude. Never seen him before in my life. He's like, oh yeah, like we started talking. He was kind of my size, a little bit chunkier dude. And like, where are you from? He's like, oh, California. I'm like, oh, cool. Where do you train? He's like, oh, actually, I train over at AKA. It's like, oh, I know, it's super big coincidence that I'm here. Like, okay, I'll give you that. Let's say it's just super random coincidence. But you're constantly rolling with me, looking to see what the pros are doing. So that was like, okay, let's go with coincidence.
Well, maybe,
but let's go with coincidence.
And he could be like a pro.
It could be.
Like he's starstruck with the pros.
Second fight with DC.
He shows up again?
So
really?
Yeah, I swear to you on my life, I caught him in the front. He was walking around with his little like suitcase, pretending like he was looking at like the merchandise and stuff. It's like, come on, man, really? Like, you're really gonna do that? Like, it's gonna be that blatant? Like, if you're gonna bring a spy, dude, be a little bit more subtle.
Stupid. That's so stupid.
Be a little more subtle.
There's nothing. Look, there's no trick you can do with training that's going to change anything.
I don't know. But listen, hey, if I was about to go in a fight with AJ or DC, for that matter, I would probably be like, hey, anybody got any info, you let me know. Because I am not trying to get fucked up. But, yeah, so supposedly AJ's coming back to MMA March 2020, which I'm super stoked about.
Yeah.
Because I always love watching AJ fight, and I think he actually kind of needs it. I think he's a real athlete. He's a competitor. It'll probably, hopefully, keep him out of trouble.
Yeah.
Keep his head focused on something and stop fucking around. So, shout out to AJ. Maybe I'll run into him in the next couple of weeks and see what's up. Speaking of MMA, we were talking about it. How about that fucking Imanari roll 11-second submission by Aviv Gozali?
And it wasn't even actually like he missed the Imanari. He actually missed the leg. You're supposed to. He found a way to salvage a botched Imanari into.
But here's the thing: did you see the breakdown by Robin Black?
No.
So I didn't post that one, but if you go to Robin Black's Twitter, he has the video where he does the breakdown. He actually was rehearsing the exact sequence.
Where he missed the actual Imanari?
Where he went for it, and he went for the Imanari the proper way. So, yeah, he botched it, but that was all planned out.
Yeah,
that was
I'm
all
sure.
planned out.
It was like Masvidal's flying knee.
Right. Or even Connor's left hook on Jose's face.
On Jose's face, yeah.
So it's crazy. So, yeah, check it out. I actually posted the submission on our Instagram at Jiu-Jitsu Radio. I tagged Aviv, seeing if he wants to come on and talk about it. He said he can do it, so I'll follow up with him and try and get him on there. I'd love to hear his mindset on that. Youngest Bellator fighter. Fastest submission in Bellator, 11 seconds, which beat the previous one for 15 seconds by Aaron Johnson.
Well, we keep telling everybody this. Knowing legs changes everything.
It opens up a whole different world.
Changes everything. It's such a fight ending. Like it doesn't take much. You don't have to know everything. You just got to know enough. And it's amazing how you're seeing it implemented in MMA Because the problem with going for legs in MMA is it leaves your face wide open to get whaled.
Well, that's how. That was the last loss before Anderson Silva got onto a whole tear. He lost by a leg lock.
Yeah, he lost the heel hook to not Sakuraba.
No, it wasn't Sakuraba. I forget.
It was some Japanese dude.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was getting his ass whipped, and all of a sudden he just dropped and went straight for the leg.
Yeah, he did that scissor.
The scissor sweep.
The
spider sweep. No,
the standing scissor, like the body scissor.
Yeah. That's the same one that we do in capoeira. We were actually talking about that in class the other day. That's one takedown I wish that we could do in jiu-jitsu, because I used to love doing that in capoeira. It's tough to nail in jiu-jitsu, and it's super risky because you can easily take out somebody's knee.
Well, yeah, no, it's illegal. That's why it's illegal in IBJJF.
No, that's what I'm saying. I just wish that we could do it. You could definitely do it in Fight to Win. Jay-Z did it. And then 10th Planet has the spider sweep that you can do it from, like, if someone's standing, they can do it that way. I think
Rio
it's called
Chonin.
Chonin, right. Is it called a spider sweep? I want to say it's called a spider.
Flying scissor heel hook.
It's either spider sweep or scissor. It's not a scissor sweep. I'm pretty sure it's a spider sweep.
You know, for some reason, I thought Anderson was undefeated until he got to the UFC.
No. That was the whole thing. That was his last loss.
No. He had one right after that.
Where?
He lost to Yushin Okami.
Okami was...
He got DQ'd.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
For an illegal kick to Yushin Okami at Rumble on the Rock.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. He didn't really lose. He took a loss for getting DQ'd. But he didn't.
He also lost to Daiju Takasi. Submission triangle. Pride.
That was before that one.
Yeah, it was before.
That's what I'm saying.
And he lost to Luis Azeredo. Decision.
I'm curious to see how his son is doing, because his son started doing MMA.
Oh, yeah?
Or kickboxing. I know his son won, like, his first kickboxing match, so I'm curious to see how well he's doing.
Yeah, Luis Azeredo has been out of fighting since 2011. He never made it big. I don't think he had one. Most of his stuff was in Pride. And then, like, the little stuff.
The little stuff? Like what?
Like Mecca 1, Brazil Freestyle.
Oh. Jungle Fights has some awesome fights, man. If you ever want to go watch some old school, like the Jungle Fights, those are really good.
Yeah, see, like 2007. See, I got into jiu-jitsu in 2007, which was late for a lot of people.
Mm.
But, like, it was still young. Like, MMA had just...
It was still young in the people's minds.
Well, yeah, and like, it still wasn't at its peak yet. Like, it started gaining some traction because I think the Ultimate Fighter with Forrest, I think it was 2005.
Think so? I don't know. Let me see.
I think it was 2005.
Stephen Bonner and...
Yeah, I think that was 2005. So...
Come on.
I started training in 2007, but, like, there was, there was all kinds of fights that still happened back then. And, like, jungle fights and Bodog fights.
The Bodog fights, Rumble on the Beach.
Like, all those things. Bodog was cool because they would go to, like cool locations and fight.
They would do them, like, in random places. Stephen Bonner, background, finale, 2005, April.
Yeah.
Total side note, I just got super fucking hungry. So shout out to Aviv Gozali. Go check out the video that we posted up on Instagram, but definitely check out Robin Black's video for the breakdown. He does a pretty decent breakdown of the submission. And he does some pretty good breakdowns for a lot of stuff. He actually trains with Kevin.
Robin Black's been training a long time.
Yeah. Let's see what else I got for you. One FC released their 100 card. I don't know if you watch too much One FC, right? That's actually going to be a pretty good card. Mighty Mouse is on there. Ong Lasang, he's on there. He trains over at with Henry Hooft. He's the two division champ for 1FC. So I might be up there on Monday or down there on Monday. So I'll
Where's
go.
it at?
Oh no, not to 1FC. I'm saying to go see Ong and stuff train. That's got to be China somewhere. I forget where. Oh, here's the big news. You see Ralph Gracie missed his court date?
Yes, I had heard that. I had heard that he missed his court date.
He missed the court date. The judge issued a fugitive warrant for him, but Henzo actually flew with his lawyer to the court date. So Henzo's got his lawyer. So listen, Henzo's got right connections, all right? If you ever want to see one of the best businessmen for Jiu-Jitsu academies,
is Ralph
it's Henzo
his
Gracie.
brother?
Yeah,
Or
cousin. I think you're cousins. Yeah. But listen, it's very well known Henzo's got some good connections. And he trained what's his face from Gracie Baja when he was a kid, so he knows them both. The one thing though that he did kind of talk shit about him about Almeida, saying that he called Ralph a clown and a terrorist and stuff like that, which is, come on, dude. Like, I think everybody wants to throw that phrase around so much now. Like, say, oh, he's a terrorist. Like, come on. You got elbowed in the face. He got pissed off. Like, yeah, you basically got jumped. The other guy got 80 days in jail, I think. The other guy from House team that was in on it. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, but it's probably was the smartest play from Half to just miss it. Like, skip the court date, let the lawyer take care of it, and not be there. Because I think if he would have just shown up, they would have automatically just taken him in jail anyway. So he's not – I doubt he's going to see a day in jail. He'll probably get, like, a really big fine and community service hours.
Yeah.
And probably have to issue an apology, but no, he's not – I don't think Half is going to see a single day in jail. Let me see what Henzo's statement was. I forgot. I wanted to pull it up so I could read it.
Well, again, it goes against everything that jiu-jitsu is supposed to be. Like, that's...
Really?
Yes. I
Because
really do believe that.
Remember they used to, like, the Gracies used to gym storm? They used to fight on the beach?
They didn't gym storm.
What?
Gracie's never gym
For
stormed.
sure they did, buddy.
No, they did
yes,
not.
They
No,
did.
people stormed their gym, and they did have fights on the beach.
No, go and look. They stormed gyms. They definitely stormed gyms and, like, started fights and shit with people. A lot. Like, that happened. I want to say even Henzo stuff talk about it. There's the documentary. I forget what the name of the documentary was, and there's old footage and stuff.
Well, there was stuff between the Luta Livre guys and Gracie.
Here you go. My lawyer, Harley Bright, and I flew from New Jersey to California to defend my brother, Ralph. We already had the co-defendant, Lincoln Pereira, downgraded from a felony to a misdemeanor and released last month. The district attorney has 2 supervisors with him today and tried to prevent my attorney from even speaking and asked for an arrest warrant against Ralph and for the judge to watch the video. When my lawyer spoke, the judge denied the supervisors everything they asked for. The victim, Flavio Almeida, gave a 20-minute speech calling Ralph a coward, thug, and terrorist, and said that if Ralph had the courage to fight him, that Ralph knows he wouldn't last long. Ralph didn't have to appear today, so it was very easy to say that. But we will return on October 15th to finish Ralph's case with Ralph in court. So October 15th, Ralph will be in court. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, but I don't think he's going to spend a single day in jail. I doubt it.
I doubt it too. I mean, it was a fight, dude. It's a fight. I get it. Should he have done it? No, he should not have done it.
No, he definitely can't do that. But no, listen, Henzo's got the connects. It is kind of weird that the judge would do that to try and, like, just squash everybody, and for someone to give, like, a 20-minute speech on everything. Like, all right, man, like, whatever. You're gonna play it up, but you're not gonna get anything out of it. What are you gonna do? You talk shit about Ralph Gracie in court, like, whatever. I'm curious to see it. Granted, he's got the right. He got jumped over something stupid, but I think if anything, it probably sets a bad example though for all the students.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you think parents like took their kids out of?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, but I do know that the fact that you lost your top draw, which was Kurt Osiander,
Yeah.
and then now you pull stuff. Then you did stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's not looking too good. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff you can look at there to be like,
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things that we know who he is. People in jiu-jitsu know who he is, but newer people, they're not really going to sit there and fucking know. Within 6 months, no one's going to remember that. 6 months.
Maybe, I don't know.
The only reason why we talk about it is because we know about it and we're in the niche. So it's like someone's bringing their kid to learn jiu-jitsu, they're not going to sit there and see it. Plus, it's California. People fuck up all the time. Go guess you got a giant fucking booger hanging. But 6 months and no one's going to give a fuck. For sure. I don't think anything is going to come out of it. I don't think Half really loses anything. The only danger, I think, is if the students, you'll get a couple of meatheads who think that they can get away with bullshit, stuff like that at tournaments.
Yeah, I just think it's a bad look for the entire academy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it does. I don't know if we talked about this already, but you see Claudio Calasanz is in the ADCC invite now. So he's going to be at ADCC. That's pretty...
Well, he should have been.
For sure. That 99 kilo bracket is absolutely fucking bonkers. And the 99 plus. But 99 is a fucking torture chamber. For sure. Did you look there?
No, I have no idea.
Dude, it's absolutely fucking nuts.
So that's 198 and below.
Yeah, or it's
197 point.
I don't know. I suck at kilograms. 99 kg.
I think it's 2.2 pounds.
ADCC.
So no, it's 217 and below.
Now, sure. Like I said, I fucking suck.
I do know that like 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds.
Check this out. Where we at? 88. 88 is pretty fucking solid too. I don't think Kit Dale is going to do any kind of damage to Craig Jones. Not to be disrespectful to him, but I don't think anything's going to happen. Tim Spriggs, obviously he's the trials winner. Perttu Tepponen, sorry, but I don't know who you are. He's from Finland. He's the European trials winner.
Dude, I tell you what, man. Whatever's going on over
in Europe?
In Europe is like they're
moving up. 100% they're moving up.
So the Polish and the Scandinavian.
Well, they've always been big in grappling.
Yeah.
Just not jiu-jitsu. Like, if you're talking about wrestling and stuff like that.
No, I'm talking jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but in jiu-jitsu, no, they're moving up. And then you got events like Polaris are bringing more attention to it. More people are doing the
but that
trials.
one guy almost beat, or did beat Leandro Lowe. That like Swedish guy or whatever. There was somebody, I can't remember who it was at this year's Worlds that was it the Worlds or the Pans? I was like, who the hell is that guy?
I don't know. All right, listen. These are the people that got invited. Gordon Ryan, Keenan Cornelius, Ben Hodgkinson, Vinny Magalesh, Patrick Gaudio, Lucas Hulk Barbosa, Luis Panza, Jackson Souza, Paul Ardilla, Dylan Dennis, Felipe Andrew, and Claudio Calasanz. That's just 99 and under. Right? That's fucking nuts. That's a solid fucking bracket. Listen.
Claudio, I think, is the smallest one.
No, I think probably Dylan would probably be smaller because Claudio gets pretty big. He was pretty big last time at ADCC. That was when I was following Gilbert around. And I have a bunch of footage and stuff. I should go back and look at that footage. I got a ton of footage of him. Check out the 99 and over. Bushesha, because he's old champion. Elder Rafigev from Moldova. Don't know him. Tex Johnson. Nicky Rodriguez. Antonio Braga Neto. Mateos Juskowiak. That might be the person you're thinking. Yuri Samoas, Orlando Sanchez, Cyborg, Jared Dopp, Joao Rocha, Kanan Duarte, Antonio Carlos Jr.
Joao Rocha was the one that had that slap box with Nicky Rod.
Victor Hugo, Muhammad Ali, and John Hansen. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's a fucking killer bracket. So that's why I'm getting my tickets. I meant to do it over the weekend and get in time, but I'm flying over there. I'm probably gonna have to sleep in the rental car because I'm not trying to spend $300 in a hotel a night. But I there's no way I can miss something like that. It's gonna be insane. Ooh, maybe I can bug Gilbert. He'll let me sleep on the floor in his hotel room. I did it before. I did that for his UFC fight. I slept, bro. This is the worst. You want to hear a funny story? I went with Gilbert to UFC Sao Paulo, which unfortunately was like the first loss he ever had in his MMA career. So that was kind of like weird. So
was that Dan Hooker?
No. It was against a Russian guy. I want to say it was like Rashid.
Like one of the
Rashid Magomedov or something, I guess. Something weird. But we go to the fight. My hotel was down the street from the UFC hotel where Gilbert was staying, so I would be walking back and forth. It was a cool little hotel. It was the one, actually, there was a video. I have it on Snap. I was like, when I had it to myself, I'm just taking a nap, and I just hear, ma. This lady getting railed next door. And I'm just sitting there, like, filming myself against, like, the walls, like, you could hear it. And then I, like, just start slamming on the door. Let's go! Whatever. So, Gilbert and Cesar Mutanch come in and take my room. So, I'm like, whatever. I let them have, like, the beds. I slept on the floor.
How did they take your room? I don't get it.
Well, the sponsors paid for my room, or for my whole trip to get there. It wasn't coming out of Gilbert, it was coming out of the sponsors. So the plan was doing just that. So just to take over the room, that way we all had a room afterwards. Because we were staying for the hell did we stay for? Oh, because Gilbert had to do a video for BSN with Vitor Belfort. So we had to stay a couple extra days. So we're there. First night is like, obviously it's just me and Gilbert, and we're like up late talking about the fight and just kind of like whatever. And then it's just pandemonium, because obviously we get to eat, we do whatever we want, we're going everywhere, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Man, same way like how it was when we went to the IKF 2 years ago. I'm on the floor, the bed's here, it's a small room. I would say the room was a little bit bigger than the studio. Caesar's there, Gilbert's there, my makeshift bed was on the bottom, and bro, Gilbert was farting the whole fucking night. But it wasn't like, it was just like, like, bro, what the fuck are you laughing for? Oh my God. The whole night he would not stop. And then like Caesar's laughing his ass off, but then it hits him, he's like, oh fucking shit, come on, man. So it was just like 2 or 3 days of just random Gilbert farts, us eating all kinds of stuff. Even so, whatever we ate fucked me up too, because they ended up having to leave and they left me at the hotel room, and I just demolished the bathroom. I remember it was bad. Oh, it was that BSN thing. The BSN thing fucked me up. Listen, don't ever use liquid sugar when you're down in Brazil. Just telling you that. It fucked me up instantly. Oh, and then the best part, this is a whole farting thing. We're going back to the poop jokes. We're at the BSN thing. This is how the whole fart, like me destroying the bathroom, got started. We're at the BSN thing. It was really in like an ad agency, and they like just took over their front room where they had this couch, and they set it up to turn it into a makeshift studio, where Vitor was behind a desk reading questions that were coming in, and he would answer, and Gilbert and like 2 other people were answering these questions. So I'm in the back, just sitting around, minding my own business. Like I was hanging out with a couple of Gilbert's friends, this guy Rashid, and a couple of other guys. Vitor brings his pastor with him everywhere he goes. That's his like spiritual guide. I forget, or spiritual counselor, whatever you want to say. Brings him with him everywhere he goes. Anytime he fights or whatever, he's always bringing him with him. Super nice guy. Only other person in the room that speaks English. So it's just me and like I was talking to him. So I'm literally in the corner of the room. This pastor's sitting next to me. People are like talking, like they're coming up to me saying stuff, and once in a while talking to him. This old man was shitting his pants, bro. Did not give a fuck. When I'm telling you he was shitting his pants, like even I'm like, hold up, man. Did not give a fuck. You get up and just farting like crazy, bro. It smelled so bad. This pastor was shitting the devil out.
You're not giving Sao Paulo cuisine a very good name at the moment.
No, I think this was just his own gastric issue.
I don't know. You said you had them.
Well,
Gilbert had them.
No, well, that was
now
Gilbert.
this guy has them.
Gilbert was having them just because he was just eating like crazy. He was eating every piece of chocolate in sight. Like every piece of chocolate in sight. Listen, the room filled with chocolate like snacks.
You know what I had in Sao Paulo for the first time? Well, I had two things in Sao Paulo for the first time.
Brigadeiro?
No.
Oh.
They make sugarcane water.
Yeah, that's good.
I was like, well, I didn't buy a whole gallon. It's not a whole gallon. It's like one of those little things that look like a gallon jug, but it's like probably like 2 pints or something like that, or a pint or something like that.
A liter?
No, it was small. I don't remember. It was small, and like they grind the sugar up, and then I had churros.
Churros?
With dulce de leche in.
Dulce de leche.
That's what I said. Dulce de leche.
Okay.
The churros in Sao Paulo were
huge.
Like they were like
You just that big old
like
pee-pee.
they were short and fat.
Uh-huh.
And like they put.
I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that phrasing out
there.
there.
They put the
dulce de leche inside.
Dulce de leche all the way into the bottle.
Yeah. Oh, it's good.
I was like, holy shit! I'm glad we missed our plane.
Just so you could have that?
Just so I could have that.
Listen, Brazil has some amazing fucking food. They definitely kill it on the sweets. Brazilian pizza is actually pretty good too. But no, what fucked me up was when we were at this thing, they had coffee. Like they had a coffee machine. So they had this whole spread, but everything was open. And it was literally right next to the bathroom. So I'm watching people go in and out, touching the food and stuff. I was like, okay, I can't have that. And then
Did you ever have tapioca while you were down there?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like they put like cheese or meat in it, and then it's like it's chewy.
Yeah.
I liked tapioca.
No, it was good.
That was good.
Farofa, like you put farofa on everything.
Farofa on everything.
But no, so it was
Brazilian food is literally my favorite. It's my favorite food on the planet.
No, they have some amazing fucking food. So everything's there, but the only thing that's there that I can have besides like the water or whatever was coffee. And mind you, we've been up the entire night because it was literally the day after the fight. No one goes to sleep. So I'm like, bro, I need fucking coffee. They didn't have sugar, like regular packets of sugar. So one of the guys was like, oh, here, just put this. And he hands me this little, it looked like eye drop, like little container. He's like, oh, it's just liquid sugar. I was like, all right, just put a tiny little squirt. I have never felt something instantly bubble in my stomach. The second I drank that shot of espresso, I just felt it go like just build and build.
It might have been the espresso.
No, because the espresso was fine. It was Lavazza coffee. It's like stuff that I've had like all the time. It was the sugar, because I guess it was processed different. It wasn't even stevia. It was like liquid sweet and low, and I can't touch that stuff. Man, you could just watch my stomach just grow and grow and grow. And listen, I'm holding it. I'm sweating bullets. I'm talking to Vitor Belfort and all these other like people and stuff, and I'm like, I just want to go back to the hotel. So we go back to the hotel, like we get some stuff, and Gilbert and Caesar were like, hey, we're gonna go. You want to come with us? Whatever. I'm like, guys, I gotta stay here. I'm like, go. You don't want to be in this room. And I just demolished that bathroom for like an hour. But it was cool.
It's funny.
You talk. I gotta get a drink.
How Vitor actually brought Caesar and Gilbert in. Like, you know, these guys were pretty much, I don't want to say nobodies, but they were like, you know, they were unknowns for like in America, and then he brings them over here.
Well, Caesar was basically Vitor's protege, and it was one of Vitor's main training partners. I mean, there's stories of Vitor just
knocking the shit out of him for
knocking
years.
the shit out of Caesar, and I mean Caesar, and I spoken to him about it. I basically like interviewed the guy because I was a big fan of his just because we did capoeira. There's videos of me and him like fucking around doing capoeira and like
he
him
like
teaching me
people
stuff.
don't understand how big of a dude he is.
6'6", like six. He's like 6'4", 6'6", all of 230 pounds of like lean muscle, 220.
How does he get down to 185? I have no idea.
I have photos and stuff of him like cutting weight and stuff. I mean, he's gotten a lot better about it. I think it was a lot of just him learning his body better. Like he would put himself through a lot. He's a very mentally strong person, so I know he definitely toughed it all out. But yeah, he's big. He's super big. I know his weight cuts are a lot easier now, but no, he's a freak of nature by every means.
Yeah, he's a literal
No, but
mutant.
Vitor and Caesar talks about it. Gilbert talks about it too. Vitor did a lot for them. He kind of took them under his wing and taught them a lot. And Gilbert obviously took wings and took off. And Caesar's definitely not hurting, that's for sure.
Caesar's still fighting. And
he fought a little while ago.
He lost his last fight, but
but he had a lot of setbacks. Obviously, he switched camps. He did. He had to have surgery, and if you look, there's actually a photo of him that he posts. His lower back with pins and stuff all over the place. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't move. He couldn't do a lot of stuff, and he's way better now. So, it's he's come a long way, and he definitely had a super rough patch. And again, I was a huge fan before he even got like popular. So when him and I sat there,
didn't he have like a one capoeira kick knockout?
I don't think he had a knockout, but he definitely hit somebody really hard with one that like rocked them. The guy that had
like it's a highlight reel thing. I think I can see it in my head.
Well, if you're thinking about there's one guy, I think his name was Lelo from Canada. He's with Capoeira Ache. He's like the son of the main guy for Capoeira Ache. He's got like 2 or 3 Capoeira like highlights, but I can't think of one with like highlight reel KOs with a Capoeira kick for Caesar. But I might be wrong. I got so many different highlights stuck in my head I can't think of it. So I got a funny story actually that I wanted to share. Australian man.
This is not Florida man.
No, this is not Florida man. An Australian man is charged with stealing $1.3 million to fund his expensive BJJ competition habits.
What?
Yeah, so this was actually in Australia.
1.3 million?
$2 million in Australian dollars, because this happened in Australia, so the conversion rate is 1.3. This article is on BJJEE, and I'll read it for you real quick. Aaron Baslangic, a top executive at Australian retail giant Coles, which, not like our Coles, it's Coles, totally not a ripoff, was arrested last Friday and has since been charged with multiple thefts and deception. It is alleged that Balsajic stole, I can just call him Aaron. Aaron stole close to $2 million Australian dollars from the retailer using faked invoices. Police say that Aaron used the money to pay for his expensive lifestyle, rent, BMW, and his jiu-jitsu tournament expenditures. And there's a photo with him with like a bunch of different medals at like different tournaments and stuff like that. Let's see. The company has told the court it had uncovered 13 questionable payments for Aaron made ranging from $48,000 to $413,000. According to court documents lodged in the case, Coles discovered the suspicious transactions in the lead up to migrating a new payment platform. So they were literally in the middle of transferring to a new payment platform, and they realized, hey, who the fuck are we paying $400,000 for? And he got arrested right before it because he was supposed to come to World's Masters to compete. So he got arrested right before he left.
Oh, that's funny.
How do you think you're gonna get away with that?
Well, under the old system, obviously he did.
I mean, clearly. Imagine if they hadn't transferred to a new system. How long would he kept that going?
He would have kept. I don't know. Probably as long until he got caught.
See, that's what fucks people up when they do that shit. They get greedy. If you're gonna do it
once or twice.
Get in, get out.
Yep.
I would, if I would have seen that I got $48,000 and then I got $400,000, I would have waited like another couple of weeks, score another like $500,000, bolt, disappear out of the country. I'm fucking gone. Find whatever country,
a non-extradition country,
and then just fucking go. Just go. I mean, listen. You could live in Croatia. Croatia is a beautiful country from everything that I've seen.
Are they non-extradition?
I don't know. But, I mean, you can live it pretty well. If you just stole $800,000, let's say, from a company, you could live pretty good in Croatia.
I'm trying to think what kind. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I like
so maybe go to Prague, Czech Republic. You'd be good to go.
Yeah, go all those places.
You'd be pretty fucking solid. Where would you go? All right, let's say
I stole money.
Let's say you stole. Should we go with the classic $1 million?
$1 million.
You stole a classic $1 million.
Well, the one thing I would need is BJJ, and I would either need mountains or I would need surf.
I was about to say, you're in Florida. There's no. The only mountain we got here is that garbage dump out west.
I understand that. And what I'm saying is I need one of those two things.
Okay.
So I would either disappear to like a Tahiti or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Or
Tahiti's not that like amazing, by the way. I heard stories that like where the touristy parts are great, but the rest is just super dangerous.
Again, all I need is waves.
Right.
And my $800,000 that'll have me living like a king in Tahiti. Or $1 million. Or I would have to find like a natural kind of place like a Croatia or stuff with mountains and snow, but there would have to be grappling nearby. There would have to be a jiu-jitsu
You could go to
school.
Mongolia. Mongolia has some awesome grappling. There's some of the best in judo.
Nepal's a cool place.
I don't think Nepal is that good. I think there it's kind of like sketchy.
Sketchy everywhere, dude.
No? It's definitely not sketchy here in Florida.
There's parts of Florida you wouldn't want to go into.
Yeah, but
there's
we're not
parts.
talking.
There's parts of Palm Beach County you wouldn't want to go into.
There's a lot of parts in Palm Beach County you
wouldn't want to go to without knowing somebody.
I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot
being
more sketchy
armed.
parts in Nepal than there are sketchy parts in
I don't
Florida.
think so. Nepal's not known.
Would you go to Hong Kong right now?
No.
I would. I would love to be in Hong Kong just to see like the shit first.
Maybe Israel.
Israel would be cool. I've always wanted to go to check out Tel Aviv. I got some friends out in Tel Aviv.
That's a little too hot for me. I don't like desert.
I've never been to the desert. I want to check.
Maybe
it out.
like disappeared to the. Wait, is it Argentina that's at the end of South America?
Argentina and Chile.
Chile, maybe Chile.
You wouldn't want to go to Argentina right now. Like in the last 20 years.
Yeah, they just dropped their Argentina's market just dropped 48%.
Argentina's been like bankrupt for the last 20 years.
Yeah, so imagine how well 800 million American will get you.
No, because you're looking at it the wrong way. Your conversion rate is going to be shit, and then there's literally nothing really going on. I mean,
or disappear to that place in Brazil that's all like Germans.
Well, that's like Argentina and Brazil. Argentina is like the main one. Like
no, there's a town in Brazil.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That's all Germans.
Yeah.
Like not from Germany.
There's one.
Like,
no, there's one in Argentina too.
But at least in Brazil, there's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh shit! Did you see the conspiracy theory that's been going on? Crazy, totally fucking sidetracked. But you just remember it.
What?
What's his face? The Canadian dude. Fuck, I can't forget his name. I think he's Canadian. There's a conspiracy going around that he could be Castro's son, Justin Trudeau.
Really?
There's like a conspiracy that he could be Castro's son, and they, like, so what happened
They're
was
showing young pictures of them side by side.
yeah, I know, it's 100%. So someone started off on like a blog saying like, post like the most bullshit like conspiracy theories that could look true, and then someone posted this thing where it's like Justin Trudeau is Castro's son. Turns out that Castro was friends with the family, with the Trudeaus, and there's like photos of him like.
Well, that's probably his dad.
Like. And then like you keep. Yeah, see, once you start looking at it, it's pretty legit. Listen, Google, for everyone on online or on YouTube, Google Justin Trudeau, Castro's son, and start looking at the photos of them side by side. There's some photos, by the way, all socialism aside, Castro was a pretty handsome young man. There's photos of him like in his track outfit and stuff like that, but they look fucking pretty close. Because he looks more like Castro than he does like his dad.
I don't know. I don't buy that shit.
Don't.
I don't buy that shit.
Yeah.
Because he would have to be friends with the mom's side of the family.
He is. There's a.
You said the Trudeaus. The Trudeaus would be his dad.
Right, but I'm saying there's photos of him with his mom. There's Castro with his mom, literally holding, like Justin Trudeau.
No, there is not.
Yes, there is. I was fucking looking at it. Hold on.
There is no way there's a picture of that.
Look it up. You Google it on your phone. Look it up.
There's no way.
Look, Trudeau, Castro, family photo. Look that shit up. Because that shit will fucking blow your mind. But that's just a conspiracy theory for the week. Go ahead and look that shit up. I was like, I saw the photos, like, yeah, I saw it too. I was like, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But
is
then
that supposed to be them?
No,
right
that's
there?
not that one. There's like, it's a different one. It's actually like a color photo. But it's pretty crazy. All right. What conspiracy theory do you wish was actually true? Doesn't matter how like crazy it is, like that you wish was, or let's not say there was like something catastrophic that you wish was true, but something that is like so outlandish that you almost wish it was true.
I don't know, dude. I'm not really a conspiracy theory guy. That I wish was like true and everybody found out about it. Like I fucking knew it, kind of a thing. Or
kind of one of those things
it was true, where like, oh, that's cool. That's
it
really
doesn't
true.
matter. Like whichever one.
Well, there's that's two things.
Like what about what's the guy that jumped out of the plane with all the money?
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper.
That's really not a conspiracy theory. That's just
like that he lived and all this other stuff.
Yeah. If I was to say conspiracy theory that I knew it, would be maybe that there really is an Illuminati. Like,
I mean, I think that's
not. No, I don't think
there is an Illuminati, but not to the level that
they meet every year and make the decisions.
Like the ones that they go meet in the woods or whatever.
Yeah, the Bilderberg or whatever. So that one would be like that. But the other one that I thought of that would be rad would be if the Montauk experiments were actually true. Oh, you don't know about the Montauk experiments? So Montauk experiments happened in Montauk, New York, and Long Island. There's a military base at the end of at the like eastern tip of Long Island, and it's called Montauk. And there's a military base there, and they did all kinds of really jacked up experiments. One of which is called the Philadelphia experiment, but I think that's what it's called. I forgive me if I'm wrong, but basically, at one point what they tried to do is they tried to come up with this new kind of camouflage for boats that like bent light around it and like made it disappear. But basically they did that, and the rumor is that it disappeared. It literally disappeared, and then when it reappeared, like people were fused with the boat.
What?
Like the crew was fused with the boat.
Right.
Like, and that like they like the other rumor is like they have opened a portal to another dimension. Like a lot of the stuff that came from Stranger Things comes from the Montauk experiments.
That's pretty crazy. You know, I still gotta watch season 2 and 3. I gotta look that up. I never heard of that.
You never heard of Montauk? Montauk's really like there's a lot of stuff about Montauk.
You know, I want to go check out like Chernobyl. And
Yeah,
see,
that would be cool. I read a so on Reddit there's a subreddit that I read called No Sleep, and it's like short little horror stories.
Yeah.
And they did one on Chernobyl that I thought was pretty good.
I like the Not the Onion subreddit. Is actually pretty good. There's a lot of crazy stories on it. I'm trying to think what I would really want it to be a true
The Montauk Project.
Montauk Project.
Yeah, they supposedly were like trying to experiment with time travel and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's what the
well, they got teleportation now.
The boat was supposed to disappear, but what they really did is they made it travel through time, and when it reappeared, that's when all the
people were
the
fused.
crew were fused with the boat.
It would make sense because it probably just came in at the wrong time, and the particles just kind of trapped them in.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of stuff on it. It's like
I have to look that up. Was it Montauk Project?
Yeah.
Write that down.
Yep.
Trying to think of what would be like crazy. I think the one that always
Or
bugs
maybe
me.
Elvis would still be alive. That would be cool.
I don't think Elvis is still alive. I would say that. I would probably more say like Tupac is alive before I'd say Elvis is alive.
I've seen pictures of the guy that looks like Tupac. Looks exactly like Tupac.
There's a guy in Jamaica that looks exactly like him. Yeah. What about? I don't know. The one that's always bugged me the most. It's not Bigfoot, or like Chupacabra. Like that stuff. I think like there was at some point.
Yeah,
something like that.
With Bigfoot, it was Arthropithecus.
Predicus?
I can't remember.
I for sure think that there is like some kind of Chupacabra thing like running around someplace. But the JFK one is the one that always bugs me the most. Like that one for sure is a whole different kind of level of conspiracy. Like that's the one that I say is the most. Because I don't think we landed on the moon anyway. For sure we didn't land on the moon. What are you looking up now? Why don't you just type in Bigfoot?
Arthropithecus. That's the word. So that was a real thing. Loch Ness Monster. That could just be plesiosaurs. There's a lot of things that could still be. Again, I don't. My whole thing when it comes to conspiracy theories is I don't believe them and I don't not believe them. If that makes sense. Like I just don't.
You don't buy into it.
I don't buy into it. I don't say, "Oh, there's really a such thing as the Loch Ness Monster," but I don't go, "There's no such thing as the Loch Ness Monster."
What conspiracy theory would have to turn out to be true for you to be like, motherfucker, where it completely flips your world upside down and you just can't believe anything ever again?
It would probably. Maybe like have you ever heard like the doppelganger?
Yeah.
Where like
everyone's got a double.
Right, but they also like there's another one where they like there's a I read one thing like you know how you go down those
the rabbit
holes about there's this supposedly this thing that like they can open doors to another dimension and they can bring your doppelganger here.
So like open into a parallel universe and
get
your doppelganger?
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit more far-fetched than
well, you
other
said
ones.
if the one that would flip my world
so that would be the extreme. There wouldn't be any other one that you could sit there that's more plausible with the rules of the universe as we know it that would sit there and blow your shit apart.
More plausible? I guess
like the Loch Ness Monster or something like that. If
would
like
have-
the
it would-
Loch Ness Monster, they're like they found out all of a sudden it pops up.
No, it
It's
would.
sitting
It
there
would
coming up to
no, that
people.
one wouldn't do it. It would have to be like aliens.
Really?
Yeah, it would have to be like an alien,
It's like the whole what's his face?
like They Live or
Oh, like the They Live version.
Yeah.
that's still kind of parallel universe thing.
it's not. Well, it is, but it's not. It's like
It's more like hidden like lizard people.
yeah,
Lizard people would fuck with me. Lizard, like knowing that there really
yeah,
are
there
lizard
really
people.
are that are
I
controlling.
kind of
the
think
world.
there really is. To be quite honest, I really think that there is. Like, I'm not even fucking with you. I really, really think that there's like, there's some fucking reptilian people that are just like,
Have you ever seen the videos of like people that
their
are
face like
their
distorts or something?
face distorts to like a reptile?
I've seen people's face like shift, like literally like something like shifted in their face where it's like either somebody slipped something in my drink or something happened in your fucking face. For sure, I've seen that,
No, I have not.
but
I have not.
I think that there's definitely some kind of lizard reptilian people in the midst.
I don't know.
Listen, it's not as bad as what's his face thinking that there's mole people and trying to start up a trade route with them. That one was bad.
Who was that?
Not Reagan. One of those older presidents.
Oh yeah, wait, yeah, like Calvin Coolidge or
Was it Roosevelt?
was it Ted? Oh, was it Teddy?
I think it was Teddy.
I don't know if it was Teddy.
I'm pretty sure.
But if there was
Teddy.
anybody that would know, it would be fucking Teddy, because Teddy was an adventurer.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think it was Teddy. Where he's like, we're going to look it up. Because we talked about it on the podcast before.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
just
do
can't remember.
President.
So for people that don't know, if you didn't hear that episode of the podcast, there was a United States president who wanted to build or construct a tunnel down into the ground, I think all the way to China.
No, it's John Quincy Adams.
John Quincy Adams, yeah. He wanted to dig a hole down into the earth because he believed that there was mole people and they had access to all of the world's resources. So he wanted to be the first one to be in contact with them so we could have access to all the
But
resources.
you know what? For the thing is,
I give him credit for thinking outside of the
that's
box.
thinking outside the box for
Trying to get one up on your
when was
on your
when
enemies.
was this, like the early 1800s?
I would guess so. Whenever he was president.
No, yeah. So like he was the sixth president from 1825 to 1829. So you know, you'd never know back then. There was a lot of things that people believed that were
Well, there's tons of shit they didn't know.
there's a lot of stuff they didn't know.
There's the known unknowns and the unknown unknowns.
Yeah, what is the saying is like technology, there's no difference between technology and magic to somebody that doesn't
That's never held a cell phone in their fucking hand.
that doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like magic, like what we consider to be technology.
Oh yeah, if we fucking showed up on a hoverboard to someone in fucking the ancient Aztecs, they would either look at us like a demon and kill us or like a god.
Right.
For sure. Can you imagine if you showed up with a fucking handgun like way back in the day? Oh man. You might as well be Zeus, like you had thunder in your hands. Show up with that fucking Joker like fucking hand cannon magnum. There's not a single person in this globe that would have fucked with you back then.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'd rather have.
As far as what?
Weaponry.
In the past?
Yeah. That would be more impressive.
Well, no, you're not going to have anything more impressive than the handgun for anything like before. Even if you went to...
A pistol, a pump,
Can you imagine? Here's what I would do. If I could go back in time, I'd fucking go. Obviously, I'd bring back a ton of guns with me, become a pirate, and just set up fucking machine guns, AKs and stuff on the boat. Run this bitch.
see, why would you want to go on a crime spree?
Why not?
What I would do is I would bury like...
You would go on a crime spree, bury a bunch of gold, and then come back and you
I
get
wouldn't go on a crime spree, but what I would do is I would go find gold.
You going for El Dorado?
Well, yeah, I would go to I would go to San Francisco before the gold rush.
But then it would start a gold rush.
No, you go if I could go pick my time, I'll go there in 1840 instead of 1849. So I'll find a whole, because that means gold is there already.
Right.
So I'll find a whole bunch of gold
Before everybody else.
Or
you do what I say. You already know where all those Spanish galleons were doing their trade routes. You come back packing heat, knock down every one of those boats.
But what you do,
rich.
the cool thing, what you do is you find a bank that would span time, and you would
interest would be amazing.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You put 200 grand worth of gold into
But how would you even do that? Because you'd be like, listen, I'm depositing this bank here now. In about 300 years, there's going to be somebody that related to me that's going to pick him up. I want him.
No, you don't do that. You just put a name on the account, and
you can't do that because if you go to the back, you're to the past, you're already fucking up the timeline. So it doesn't mean it's going to end the same way where the person with that name is going to be around.
I put my name on the fucking account.
But you might not be your name. You might end up being.
How would I change my name?
Because you don't control the timeline between that point until.
I would have any kind of contact with anybody in my timeline, in my family.
No, but the tiniest little change can affect everything else. No, that's the whole point.
No. Not when it comes to gold.
Not when it comes to gold, because
gold's a natural resource.
But all the things that you change to get that, right? So let's say, like you said, you went to the ahead of everybody else, and you went for all that gold. Okay, so
not all of it. I would just get enough
chunk. All right. So now imagine there was somebody else at the original timeline that found that chunk that you found before them. So now you just changed that whole fucking timeline.
It's not my family. I don't have to worry about it. I don't know anybody.
You don't know how that affects you.
I know for a fact that nobody in my family was ever in California.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Or you have your family tree down to the fucking dot.
It
could have been a friend of the family.
My grandfather's cousin is the head of the Genealogical Society in Lockport, New York. Uh-huh. He did my entire family history. You're not. It's not your family. Your family has no ties to Lockport, New York.
How do you know? I don't know. How do you know?
Because you just came to America recently.
Actually, I found my grandma's name in the registry in Ellis Island, but she said that she's never been here, but her name is on that registry.
It could have been another
someone
one.
Just stolen the note. Well, no, our last name or her last name, whatever, is very, very unique.
So is mine, and
yours is not unique.
It is too.
There's tons of people with your last name that you've never met that I've seen. I could pull them up right now.
Well, I know, but it's not a common last name. Ambrosino is not a common last name.
It kind of is.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. I very rarely have met actual people with my last name.
That's different. Doesn't mean that they're not out there.
I guarantee you, and I guarantee you, just like your grandmother, there's coming from Italy. There's other stuff.
There's tons of people that stolen names to try and hide from the cops and stuff.
Yeah, you didn't need any kind of papers. You come over. What's your name?
Mike. Mike.
Tony.
Well, no, that's Anthony, and they couldn't pronounce it, so they wrote to New York.
That's not true.
I know, but it's funny. I always love that. Oh man, no, I think you'd fuck up the whole timeline.
Nope,
for sure.
Nope, I would just be sitting pretty, and I would know at what. So I wouldn't know until that age. So I'd have to travel back in time till I was 30, like the time that I would go is I was 30, and that's as soon as.
What?
So what I'm saying is, young Shawn wouldn't know about this gold
until you became old Shawn.
Until I became the Shawn that went back in time.
Did you just make yourself your own? Whatchamacallit? What's it called? The rich kids. Trust fund baby. You just made yourself your own trust fund baby.
My own trust fund baby. Imagine what 200 grand would be over 150 years.
Interest.
interest.
I think you could schedule, like, Google it. You could type that in. If I had $150,000 in 1850, how much would it be now?
150,000
in 1850 is how much now? Which, again, that's not really the gold rush time. So
50. That is. That's after. So I'd have to do 1840.
By the way, that's a huge fucking spider over your head.
Awesome.
I gotta sweep this roof. There's a bunch.
So in other words, 150 grand in 1840 is equivalent to purchasing power of about 4.3 million in 2018.
That's it?
Right, but that's the amount. What the amount would be similar to. So like if I just had 100, if I just got.
All right, so you didn't type in. Okay, so then you would have to say 150,000 interest over. What do you give yourself interest on? 1%?
Well, no, it fluctuates.
Okay, but I'm just for the purpose of conversation.
And it compounds.
The average.
The average, I would say an average because.
So well, you can calculate compound
maybe
interest.
3%.
Over 150 years? You just double it, really.
No.
I just feel like 150,000 in 1850 is a lot more than whatever 4.3 million now.
3%.
Like there's definitely way more buying power than that.
Interest calculator.
All right.
Let's see, 150,000. Additional none.
Well, here, this is a math class, Jiu-Jitsu.
6. So I'm going to go down to 3%.
Okay.
For an average, though I don't know. It could be more. It could be less. Over 150 years. So 150 over 150 years at 3% would grow to 12 million.
I feel like that's not enough.
That's more than enough. If you can't live your life, I could live comfortably off of $12 million.
I was just having that conversation the other day. Like, if you, because the lotto right now is 103 million, right? You do lump sum, you come out with like 60. If you spent something, what did I do? I calculated something like 200,000 a year. If that's what you lived off of, you could live for like 250 years.
Yeah.
Like at that much. So you could come up to like around 500,000 a year, like where you basically give yourself like that allowance, and you can live like 60 years. Fuck, man. Are you kidding me?
And you wouldn't have to spend 500 grand.
Obviously,
a year.
you know, you wouldn't have to, but that's like the allowance that you give yourself. Like that's my budget every year, $500,000. Holy shit, I'd be living easy. I'd be fucking flipping birds left and right at someone. Like I would just walk. I wouldn't even stand in line. I would never stand in line at anything ever fucking again. I go to the grocery store. I put everything in my cart. I would walk out with the fucking cart. It's like, sir, you didn't check out. Whatever. And just throw them like $300 and just walk out.
I wouldn't do that. What I would do though, if I had fuck you money, one of the things that I would do is when I went to pull in a parking lot, and a parking spot, and there was a scooter there, I would just hit it.
Yeah, smash it. Fuck it.
And
Get my new self in a car. You're like, here's $500. Get yourself another scooter, asshole.
I would say, let's get you a new scooter. Here you go.
I'd be like, hey, let's just get you a car, all right? None of the scooter shit.
And next time, don't park in a parking spot.
Yeah. See, like something like that, I would do that where it would look spiteful, but it came out to a positive thing. So I would just smash my truck into that fucking scooter. It's like, oh my God, my fucking scooter. It's like, listen, fuck you and your scooter. Here's the keys. Go get yourself a new car. Like, so you're like, okay, you can hit that scooter all the fuck you want. Can you imagine you fuck up somebody's ride and be like, here, bam, I just bought you a brand new car. Like, no payments, no nothing. You can get from point A to point B. Are you really an asshole if you do that?
You are, but you're not.
The only way that you're fucking somebody over is if they got a DUI, and that's the only way they can get from work.
Well, then you get them another scooter.
I'll just be like here's 10 grand.
Get yourself a nicer scooter.
Here's 10 grand. You got Uber everywhere you go now. Congratulations.
No,
Still
I would get them more
a
transportation.
nicer scooter.
Get them a nicer scooter.
Fuck your scooter. Buy yourself a nicer scooter. Fuck
And
that.
next time, don't take up a parking spot.
I mean, you got a scooter. You can go park up front.
Yeah, just park.
That's what I don't understand, people. You got a motorcycle. You can go park closer out. Go park closer out, man. Don't, like, that's the whole point.
It's only the ones that park all the way in. If you park towards the back of
Where
the parking
people could see it, 100%.
then I'm cool with you. But the moment you pull all the way up,
you're a dick.
you and I are enemies.
Mortal
now.
enemies. No, for sure. Like, with fuck you money, I would do, like, I'm telling you, I would never stand in line again. Fuck you.
I
Fuck
would.
you,
I don't
fuck
mind
you, fuck you,
lines.
fuck you. I would never stand in line again.
I
Go to
wouldn't quit
Publix.
work either. I would work.
No. I would invest in a bunch of different businesses, and I would work if I was in, like, because I invested so much that I would be a partial owner, then I'd show up and stuff like that. But I would be the one showing up to these fucking CEO meetings, like, in board shorts and a t-shirt.
And there's other things too. Like you can, like depending, you can invest like I want to say like 10 million, and you can make 500 grand a year or 200 grand a year
even at, like,
interest.
Yeah, I mean, you could just drop it in the bank and do the
Yeah.
interest and stuff like that anyway. Or you buy yourself a shit ton of bonds. You'd
Yeah.
be solid to go. You could do jiu-jitsu all day. Oh, my God, man. Are you kidding me?
I would jiu-jitsu, surf, and work when I want to.
I would honestly live like Macaulay Culkin. He doesn't even bother packing. He just like, I'll just buy clothes when I get there.
That I don't like.
Why? I would drive you nuts.
It would drive me nuts.
Why?
Because
I don't think it would drive you nuts. If you have that much money, you wouldn't give a fuck
No, I
anymore.
would. You know what I would do is I'd tell people to pack. Do me a favor. I'd have an assistant. Pack my bag. You know
It's
what
not
I
an
like.
assistant. That's like you're having a fucking maid slave.
No, you tell you I'm going here. Pack my stuff. You know what I need. Send it there.
I
I
can't.
want it there by the time I get there.
Maybe like a couple like certain shirts or something like that, so I wouldn't have to waste time. Like
600, but 60 million isn't enough to fly private everywhere.
no, I would just fly first class. I wouldn't have to fly private. I wouldn't give a shit. But I could easily just go up and be like first class, boom, let me go.
I might do that. What is it?
Or you know what?
I think it's 25 grand a year, and you get to.
Global entry.
Is that no? 25 grand a year. There's a like a Uber private jet thing.
Oh yeah, jet.
That's like I think it's 25 grand or something like that. Where
Jet flyer, something shit.
but
shit
like
that.
you can use private jets.
You still have to pay. That's the thing. You just get it's a luxury concierge is what it is. But yeah, you can sit there and just book it. You still have to pay. You could actually do that now, like the thing that you're talking about. You could actually rent a private jet where like the total costs everybody about $400-$500, and you could get a private jet to go fly anywhere.
No,
Yeah.
I know how much it costs to.
No, that's different. That's for the like you're talking about someone who owned their own private jet. That's different. This is like where they need to have the jets go over there anyway.
Oh, they got to send it back, and you just
So
take
might
a
as
ride.
well, yeah. So you might as well hitch a ride, so you can get it. So you, let's say, if we wanted to go to California, we get 8 or 9 people that wanted to go. It's going to cost us all like $400, $500 each, and we get a private jet to go over there. Getting back might be different, but at least you're flying a private jet.
Yeah.
You'll get there in 3 hours. You know
It goes higher and faster.
yeah, it's the fucking way to go. That's for sure.
Telling me.
Speaking of which, I still gotta book that flight. But no, for sure, you could sit there. I would honestly, if I wanted to save and still do that, I would just buy the whole row. I would just buy the whole row.
The
And
whole
it's mine.
row, and so and then
then
so
if
you can
someone's, like,
lay out.
Someone tries to like snag a seat, like, bud, you're gonna have to get up, homie. Sorry, that's mine. You can't take the seat. Like, right here. Here's all my tickets. This row, 23, all mine. Go fuck yourself. Like, get yourself some money. Go buy yourself your own row.
Yeah. Imagine you can buy your own, just buy your row, and then like flip all the things up, lay down.
I don't think they would let you though. I think there's rules that they won't let you do it.
I don't know.
Like if you're big like you, where you got to get both seats, that they can do.
What are you talking about?
No,
I wish I could get 2 seats. Like,
can you fit in the Harry Potter seat now?
I don't know. Doubt it.
I think you can.
I doubt it because the problem was never my belly. It was
Your shoulders.
It's my shoulders, and my shoulders haven't shrunk.
Ah, that's right. Fatty shoulder.
That picture, I still got that picture somewhere.
We gotta go. Oh, speaking of which, so I can't give the details, but I will be in Orlando September 21st for a event. Can't tell you what it is or where it is. Where it is, I don't know, but it's in Orlando. Some more details once I get them and once I'm allowed to talk about it. So shout out to my Orlando people. I am coming up there, so make sure you have a couple of bucks for drinks because we're definitely drinking. I guess because I won't be able to compete then at Coral Springs, the new breed. I was going to do the new breed. And then the week after that is ADCC, so going to have some fun. But I'll be in Orlando.
All right, I'll write that down in my
Write
book
it down,
of things
take a picture. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a crap about. I'll put that in that book.
I think we're going to check out. I'm starving. I still
All right.
haven't eaten dinner. Shout out to all our sponsors. Please check out Choke Aloha, Jiu-Jitsu Soap, Giraffe Choke, and Nomad Surf Shop. As always, you can follow us on Instagram. Shawn's at Gorilla Boy BJJ. I'm at Sonder Marketing. And always, please follow Jiu-Jitsu Radio on Instagram. And as always, if you like the YouTube channel, if you like the podcast, hit subscribe on YouTube. Hit the little notification button.
Hit 'em.
Make sure you get it. Shout out to Shawn
Come up
Wheelock.
below.
He listened to the podcast last week, and he complimented us and said thanks for the compliments on the show. Hit us up, follow us. Thank you all for the support. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.
You can't
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.